Hello and welcome to another video. In this one we're going to be talking about the reload function in Python, which used to be built in, but is no longer in Python 3, but you can still find it. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into it and explain what's going on here. All right, so the reload function tries to re-import a module. And it's not always super good at it, and it's very hacky, and it breaks a lot of code. So generally, you shouldn't use this function, but I wanted to show you it, and I wanted to show you a few cases where things can go really, really wrong. All right, so let's start by making a little Python file, and I'm just going to put a class in here. I'm also going to put, I don't know, a global unique constant, so a singleton, so I don't know, placeholder equals object. So this is something that should be unique throughout the process, etc., etc. And what we're going to do is we're going to import from this model. So from T import placeholder, and from T import C. I'm also going to import T so that I can call reload on it later. And if I go to write another function here, so let's say that I, hello, which just prints hello, and I go to, call that function, hello, you'll see that it's not available on this function. And even if I re-import something, that doesn't cause it to change at all. So what import is actually doing is there's a global set of modules, and they live in the sys module, in sys.modules. And so the module here is always going to be the same. And what import does is it basically checks if that module is already in sys.modules. And if it is, it just re-returns it. It doesn't do any other side effects. So only the first import that happens actually causes the module to be imported. But what you can do is you can use importlib.reload. So if we import importlib, because the import machinery lives in Python, you can access it directly. And if you do importlib.reload, or in Python 2, it used to be a built-in. This pattern was so common that it was a built-in, and it was moved into importlib because it's so error-prone and something that you shouldn't really be reaching for very often. But if you call importlib.reload and pass a module into it, and this is the super magical part, not only is it going to change the reference of this, but it's going to re-import this module from source. If we call importlib.reload here, you'll see that we get a new module back, but this T right here has actually been changed, I believe. Yeah, so the T that we couldn't call this attribute on has magically been reassigned to this new T here. I think the way it works is it rehydrates the exact module object, but the interesting thing, though, is this, singleton that we wanted to have before. So we wanted this to be a unique object across our entire process. The singleton is no longer a singleton. And if we look at the new placeholder, you'll see that we've gotten a second instance of the singleton. And this also happens for enumerations or classes. So if we do c is t.c, you'll see that we've gotten a brand new class. So now there are two classes that are separate from each other. They have the same name, the same module, etc. They look the same, but they are not the same. I think you can actually even equals them, and that'll be false as well. So we now have two completely disparate classes, and that's entirely caused by reload. So anything in the reloaded module can, end up in a different place and break stuff. And this has been a common source of test pollution that I've seen when working on significantly large code bases, where a test calls reload on a module and suddenly your singletons are no longer singletons, your enums no longer match up, and you may leak state based on just reloading the global modules here. So my general advice is, even though this may be convenient for developing code because it brings new names and live code into place, I would strongly recommend against using it, and definitely don't check in code that uses reload because it will cause issues. It will cause bugs. But anyway, that's reload. And hopefully this was useful. If there are additional things you would like me to explain, leave a comment below or reach out to me on the various platforms. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.